All right, cool. So, hello, folks. This is the Radical Reviewer here. And I have a few things on the docket for today that I thought you folks might be interested in. Whoops. So, I would like to celebrate. Oops, this still says 30K. Let's change that to 35 because it went up to 35 while I was gone on vacation. So, I would like to look at the channels that originally inspired me when I started, what inspired me to start my YouTube channel. A look at some of my first content, for those who haven't had a chance to see it yet. A look at the things that I'm reading right now, if you folks are interested in that. Then probably a nice big old block of Q&A. And depending on how far I get into my adult beverage, I might play some songs or talk about the future of the channel. So that is what is on the docket. So if you're throwing questions in the chat right now, probably not gonna see them because I just have a broken laptop. And my plan is, now that vacation is over and I've been working through the pandemic, and my Atlas Shrugged video did quite well, I'm gonna bundle all that together with some of the stimulus and some of the other stuff, and I'm going to buy a new laptop. That's the goal for the future. But without further ado, let's get into it. So I started the Radical Reviewer YouTube channel 7 years ago. 2000, I think towards the end of 2014. So what was it that inspired me to start a channel? Well, was it ContraPoints or H-Bomber Guy? No, because I think they might have started around the same time I did, or maybe slightly after. Was it Philosophy Tube or Step Back History or Bad Mouse Productions, which were around, I think, probably a lot longer than I was. Nope, it was not those folks either, because I did not know about those channels at the time that I started mine. So what inspired me to start my channel? Well, let's find out.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Oh.
Yeah, Doug Walker, Nostalgia Critic stuff. I'm not the only one. Other people were inspired by, Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic to start media analysis channels or whatever. Obviously, I wasn't inspired just by the Doug Walker guy. I was inspired by the Rap Critic and Todd in the Shadows and Nostalgia Chick, Lindsay Ellis for the less old school than myself. So that was a big start of inspiring me to start my channel back in the sort of 2013-14 era of YouTube. There was also, of course, Wisecrack and Cracked and Thug Notes. Thug Notes was a big one, right? What were some other ones? There were some video game critics I liked, such as Super Bunny Hop, which I think was maybe the first person to do by-lighting in a video essay. I don't know, any Super Bunny Hop fans out there?
Rebirth of this character while also giving him a gameplay affecting reason.
Why is that starting at the end? So good. Super Bunny Hop. Hello from
Think
Brazil. Love your
about
work.
everything
Well,
you
very
know,
much.
and then think about why you know it.
Are our thoughts simply hardwired from previous experiences, or do we have actual real control over them? And if we do have that much control over...
Yeah, so Super Bunny Hop is cool, right? Other video game essayists. Another person that I liked when I first started was a history YouTuber called Hip Hughes History. Let's check this out.
Hey guys, welcome to Hip Hughes History.
That audio quality ain't
In the next 10
great.
to 15 minutes, we're going to take a look at, in a very broad kind of way, the French Revolution.
So yeah, that is the humble beginnings of the Radical Reviewer inspiration, right? Doug Walker in all his wonderful analytic glory. That's a bad freeze frame. Old video game analysis channels, and some of the first history channels that I saw. And I was thinking, man, I really like these video game analysis and movie analysis. What can I add that other people might be interested in? And I obviously thought, well, I just finished college, or maybe I was at the tail end of college. I've read a whole heck of a lot of books that some folks haven't read. So if it comes to offering something on YouTube that doesn't exist yet, that is where I got my start. So without further ado, could I get thumbs up in chat for anyone who has seen the first ever Radical Reviewer video from 6 years ago? Huh? No, I'm like a real streamer talking to chat now. Thumbs up in chat. You seen this? This beaut, huh? The first ever Radical Reviewer video from 6 years ago. Let's give it a look. Let's give it a look. See where did my inspiration take me? Where did my Doug Walker Super Bunny Hop Hip Hughes History inspiration take me for my first ever, prior to ever knowing such a thing as BreadTube, maybe prior to the existence of BreadTube? What was I making?
The Forest and the Trees, Sociology as Life, Practice, and Promise. The revised and expanded edition by Alan G. Johnson.
Oh my
Temple
goodness.
University Press.
Oh, what's with that
2008.
audio? Oh, why is it so bad?
The key idea of this text is
It's
the
so
concept
bad because
path
I
of least
was,
resistance, which is essentially
it's so
that there
bad
are
because I was
paths
recording
molded by
with the
convention,
camera mic
culture,
instead of
society, power structures,
the professional mic that I use
which
now.
some choices seem
Why am I
rational
moving the
in
camera
nature,
around so
and
much?
other
Jeez,
choices
camera
seem
guy, what are you
bad
doing?
or that they wouldn't be
I was kind of going for like a TV
In
show
this sense,
kind of
society
effect,
doesn't force people to
but
make
I did not
choices.
have
A
tracks
society
and
social
dollies
situations
and
limit and
what's that
highlight
thing that they used to make
opportunities,
nature shows so
perceived
that the
options,
camera's
and
all still,
desires
you know, the
available.
gyroscope? I
This
didn't have
impacts
any of
small
that.
choices, like
So
what
that
would
is
be
why
acceptable to
the
say
old
to a
look,
stranger at a
my
park.
chair was
This might
white
begin
back
on
then. I hadn't
occasions
painted
of
it
an
brown
office
to match the
party,
bookshelves
family
yet,
gathering,
and I don't
candles.
have my bookshelves yet. Those are
This
the
also
old
is
school
affected by
bookshelves.
religion,
Oh
religion,
man,
culture,
I
social,
think I was
economic status,
probably, I had to have
whatever.
been older than 1
Passive
year,
least
but I was
resistance
about
also
1 year
affect
old
larger choices,
here.
like
I'll probably
should I
remake
shoot
this
the person walking towards me?
review
This is
like
affected
I have
by my
done.
age.
So I have redone some book reviews. If folks who have followed me long enough know that I've redone maybe 2 or 3 of my favorite books with my more modern quality level. And one of these days I plan to redo Forest and the Trees because I do think it is a wonderful, wonderful book. But let's go ahead and check out maybe some other ones just to kind of see. So this is What is Communist Anarchism? If you folks remember, I recently did the ABCs of Anarchism, ABC of Anarchism. So let's see what this is like.
Hello, this is the Radical Reviewer taking a look at.
So no
what
intro
is
yet.
Communist Anarchism
Did I have a
by
logo in the
Alexander
other video?
Berkman,
I don't remember.
Press, originally published as ABC
Still
of
moving the
Anarchism
camera
in
around.
1949.
This is a different apartment. So at this apartment, I had to lean over.
The key idea
I
of
had
this
my
text
camera human
is,
leaning over the
surprise,
couch
surprise,
in the middle of the
defining
studio
what is
apartment to
communist
film. So that's why it kind of moves a little bit, but not quite as much. I don't know what's going on with the framing. We've got like the video games over here, coats, shoes on the ground, a mess. And the audio sucks. So if you're wondering, oh man, Radical Reviewer, if you started making videos like 6 years ago, when at the beginning of BreadTube, how come how come you're not more popular? Well, that's because my first couple videos, terrible framing, terrible lighting, terrible audio. You know, that's what happens. So if you're going to start your own channel, audio is number one. Make sure you have good audio. Hopefully this audio is sounding okay. Here's, we got Paracon.
Hello, this is the Radical Reviewer.
So I might be using my real mic now, so audio sounds a little bit better. No intro yet, so that's interesting. No intro on that one. Let's go up a little bit. So here's one that I redid. I did How Nonviolence Protects the State. I did as myself, and then I did as a collab with Aaron from Reeducation, if you folks remember that one. Here, so Conquest of Bread. If you folks remember back, Thought Slime used to do like a book club stream. I was part of the book club stream for the Conquest of Bread, and that's when I first started talking to American Johnson. And we decided after that to do a collab book review. If you look, that might be one of my first. Yeah, it looks like one of my first collabs when I started doing collabs for almost every video after this. But this is when I'm really stepping up the game here. So we got the intro. Yeah. This is where Radical Reviewer starts finding its footing. Logo, intro, costumes.
No, that doesn't feel right. Hello, this is the Radical Reviewer. No, that's not quite right either.
Camera is
Maybe I should
still.
leave the costumes up to
Well,
the
that's
pros.
kind of nice. It's actually sitting on like a stack of
Hello,
plastic
this is the Radical
tubs.
Reviewer,
This is
taking a
before I
look
had
at
the
The
camera that I
Conquest
use
of
now.
Bread by
But
Peter
no, it looks
Kropotkin.
much nicer, and that's about the level of quality I stayed with. I guess from then on, if we look at like I don't know what else. We look at my review of The Face of Imperialism with Will Griffin from the Peace Report.
They outsource
Skip around here.
Target Cuba.
Where's me? This is about me.
and find ways to defend itself.
Okay, here we go.
But in those countries, X, Y, and Z happened, supporting terrorism, tyrannical leaders,
Audio quality
spreading
sounds pretty
communism or
good.
whatever, and so
Pretty good. We
had
got
to do
Straw Dog
something.
introduced.
You see, those US military actions were
Folks
justified.
that love the good old Straw Dog. So yeah, slowly but surely over the years, and then look, we have the peak, the beauty of
Come to the market trying to get
Radical
production
Reviewer
labor
quality.
as cheaply
Oh
as
my
possible
goodness.
in order to
Woohoo!
get a return on their investment.
I hope to keep it like this. I got the new logo now.
Look at my video.
I got the new intro where I slowed it down. This is how I initially wanted the intro to look, is to gradually slow down, but my program couldn't do it. So what I did was I downloaded a video slowing down app for my phone, completed it in my video editing software, put it onto my phone, slowed it down, put it back onto the software. Wonderful stuff. Cool. Where are we at on our list? So, what inspired my channel? We're done. So we learned it. I'm ashamed. It was Nostalgia Critic and Nostalgia Chick and the Rap Critic and all those classic reviewers from ye olden days. That's who inspired me. What kind of content did I initially make? We looked at that. We saw the terrible quality, the moving around. We saw me as a one-year-old pup just trying to get my grounding. Next on the agenda is, what am I currently reading? So what am I currently reading? Hopefully the hotkeys are working. There's a little bit of lag between what's going on my phone and what's going on the stream. So very professional, very it's a scuffed stream. It is, right? And that doesn't seem to have worked. If I do that, no. What's going on, OBS? What's your deal? Oh, because I was doing the wrong thing. That's what I meant to do. Ha ha. Hee hee ha ha ho ho. So, one thing that I'm reading right now, different speeds. Name of the dog, Radical Reviewer. I'm trying to watch chat. I'm juggling a lot of things here. So one of the things that I'm reading, just kind of as a laugh, but it's kind of fun, is Ethics 101. It's all right. It's okay. Intro to Ethics, very, very boilerplate, whatever the term is. Very, very intro. Nothing to write home about. It did have one. If you folks remember, what was it? What's it called? What was like the Vosh streamer guy talked about the reason why people don't need to commit to things that they consider to be morally right. Do you remember what that term was? This was like, oh man. Oh no, I had it written down somewhere. Anyway, in the book it brought up this interesting utilitarian argument about, if you are like one of the few scientists capable of making this certain type of biological weapon, but you are against the development of it, then you should take the job making it, because to not do so, you would know that someone else was going to do the job better and produce more weapons, right? So that was kind of an interesting thing. What type of dog am I? I am a red healer. I am 1/2 red healer, 1/2 none of your business. My favorite fruits, I like blueberries. Am I an ANCOM? I am an anarcho-communist. The other book that I recently just finished is Wage, Labor, and Capital, and Value, Price, and Profit by Karl Marx. He wrote this book. He wrote the first pamphlet that this book covers prior to writing The Politics of Political Economy, or whatever it was, Critique of Political Economy. And the second pamphlet of this book, Value, Price, and Profit, he wrote prior to writing Das Kapital. So these are kind of intros into both of those books. So I would highly recommend this, and I plan on doing a review of it very shortly. What else am I reading? Ooh, you're reading Wage, Labor, and Capital right now. Well, that's cool. I did enjoy it quite a bit. A book that I finished quite recently was Anarchy Works by Peter Gerdelus, Examples of Anarchist Ideas in Practice. The script for this is almost done, and the channel that I'm collaborating with has finished their stuff and sent it my way. So that should be coming together shortly. I would love to tell you folks about the type of people I collaborate with in planned projects for the future and all that. The problem is life happens. And so I've had plenty of projects where I was planning to collab with one person at one point, then another channel at another point, and then maybe I do the review by myself, or I do my review with like the original person comes back around. It tends to be a mess. A book that I have not started just yet, but I will start eventually, is thank you, camera person, for doing such a wonderful job. Not at all. Is The Israeli Lobby and U.S. Foreign Policy. I guess this book is trash. I hope that my foreign policy knowledge is enough to see through the trash, probably, but I still hope that I have the chutzpah to handle it. Another book that I just started was the Sublime Object of Ideology by Slavoj Žižek. The Sublime Object of Ideology. Just started it, so there's that. Another one that I kind of start. Any thoughts on Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin? I read it and I liked it a whole bunch. It reminded me of a mix between Das Kapital, Paracon, Conquest of Bread. I was borrowing it from a friend when I read it, so I did not highlight it when I read it, and I don't currently own it, which makes it hard to review. So I'm kind of on the fence about if I want to do a half-ass review and just kind of like talk about the point of the story and what I liked, or if I want to wait. Why am I answering these? I'm not in the Q&A section yet, or if I want to buy the book and kind of try and pick through the parts that I remember really well and highlight some lines to use. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. The other book that I'm reading right now, but I've kind of put a pin in this one for now, but I am looking forward to finishing it, is In Defense of Looting, A Righteous History of Uncivil Action by Vicky Erstwhile, In Defense of Looting. This one's been pretty cool so far as well. But a lot on my plate, and while working and stuff, it's kind of hard to. But that's what's coming up. That's what's coming up. Oops, I didn't mean to do that yet. That's what's coming up on the Radical Reviewer docket. Okay, where are we at in the agenda? We did what inspired the channel. We did what content did I make initially? It was terrible, but now it's okay. What am I reading? Bam, we did that. We're good. Okay. We are officially question and answer time. This is officially the Radical Reviewer Q&A. So fire, whoops, I did not mean to do that. Fire at will, fire when ready. I am at Q&A time. It is official. I will officially answer questions now. I think that my phone is a little bit off, so quickly fire them so that I can start answering and stop stalling for questions to come in. We got 57 folks watching, and no one wants to answer a reading dogs and questions. Are you? What's wrong with you people? How do you balance direct action, family, and a job? It's kind of driving me a little crazy. Yeah, one thing that I worry a lot about, and I wrote about this, or I spoke about this in reviews like my review of Capitalist Realism, is that like I worry to what extent what I'm doing is the best use of my time. So I used to work at a homeless shelter. I've talked about that in a few videos. I don't anymore. And now that I'm doing the videos at the level of quality and twice a month, it makes it hard to try and undertake something like that again. When I came back from, I've recently come back from vacation. A friend of mine who worked at the shelter that I worked at has a different service job that I hope to apply to. But that would mean going back to working 2 jobs, which I haven't had to work 2 jobs since the pandemic. So it's nice to only work the one. Yeah, it is definitely a lot to juggle. Don't burn yourself out. I get really fidgety if I'm not in the middle of working on like 4 projects at a time, and I think that's not healthy. But it's kind of like how I'm more satisfied with my life that way. So just do stuff that fits in your schedule best you can. Okay. I got a good mark for my school project, citing your video on recuperations. Ooh, thank you. What's your favorite board game? My favorite board game. Is cribbage a board game? I really like cribbage. I used to play cribbage with my dad, and it's fun. I also like House on Haunted Hill. House on the Haunting Hill. It's the board game is under the box that the laptop is on, so I can't read it directly to you. But it's the House on the Haunted Hill game that's fun, and you slowly build a haunted house as you play it. And at some point in the game, you find out which one of the people playing is the traitor. It's really awesome. Okay, sorry, trying to get through these questions quickly. What is the cameraman drinking? The cameraman is having a Rainier, because it's the water. Or no, wait, Olympia's the water. Rainier is also the water. Is mutual aid the best way forward for more and calm society? Yes. Your videos are direct action. Thank you. Also mentioned this earlier, but since this is now the Q&A section, have you read House of Leaves? I have not. I have not read House of Leaves. I should maybe add. People recommend books, and I always say I'm going to add it to the list. And for the most part, I remember to do that. I open up my phone, I go to the Amazon wish list, and I throw it in there. So hopefully I'll remember House of Leaves. Do you like Godzilla? Yeah. I liked the 2001 when it came out. Okay. What is the worst band? Wait. What is the worst band you have listened to that wasn't morally reprehensible? Geez, that's tough. Sometimes I really like bad music. So like for example, the PragerU video, I put a clip from the band Bucket of Piss. They're probably like the worst as far as like unlistenable, but I enjoy them. Worse but listenable. There was when I worked at a thrift store, there was a song that was like a pop song that was like "Move to LA, everyone's dreams come true in LA," which was pretty bad. And every time it would play, I'm like, oh, I'm in a thrift store where like a lot of homeless or destitute people are getting their wares. And there's a song about like, oh, come to LA, all your dreams will come true. And I don't know, it was just really rubbing me the wrong way. Oh, am I losing my spot? Do I like it? Why the red bandana? I mean, I think it looks cute, don't you? And I'm not wearing. I like wearing a necklace, but I don't want the necklace with my house phone number on it to be in a live stream. I think you could probably understand maybe why. What did I major in college? I got a master's in history, essentially. Yeah. Okay. How important do you think automation is? I think automation is important. I don't really know what you mean by that. In the book that I reviewed, Socialism, Utopian and Scientific, it talks a lot about the ways in which slaves in slavery and the peasants and serfs under feudalism, they did not put their own work in danger by working, but only under capitalism do you say, for example, you're working at a grocery store and you are providing money for the grocery store that they will then use to buy, self-checkout machines. So only under capitalism do you fuel your own, automating yourself out of a job. My stance is kind of like that of maybe like Richard Wolff or Michael Albert or something, which is that, under other systems, this automation could be awesome and could automate these tasks that maybe people don't want to do or can free up time for people to achieve other things. Murray Bookchin also, believed in that kind of thing, to automate the rote work so that the workers could spend their time, doing the detailed work. A machine maybe automates the process of making a chair, for example. I'm just kind of looking over at a chair, so that's what comes to mind. And then maybe the worker will do like the nice painting and the nice kind of carving work to get like the cool design, something like that. Okay. Oh no, I skipped yours. Please type it again. I'm trying. And I'm also not reading names because I'm terrible at reading under pressure. Those of you who remember when I used to do Twitch streams where I would read during stream might remember that I was terrible at it. Also, please add question marks to your question so that I know that it's a question. My friends like House on Haunted Hill. Yeah, the game is House on Haunted Hill is complicated. I used to live in like a house with a bunch of like crusty anarchist guys, and we would drink while we played it. And the game, we like almost never finished it because it's too complicated to play with a bunch of people and you're drinking. Do I like anime? Yes, but I am a snob about anime. I only like Paprika and Paranoia Agent. Snobby art housey animes because I'm a snob. I wish there was more debates and I really enjoy the writing. Not sure about that one. Punk band thoughts on the punk band Dog Park Dissidents. I don't know of them, but they sound cool. The person who said that I skipped theirs, I'm sorry. Please ask again. Let me check the time. Are you familiar with St. Andrew's channel? I am not. Develop opinion on solar punk and homeschooling specifically. Interesting. Have you read Dune? I have not, and it seems really long. I have quite a few friends that have read Dune. They liked it and recommended it and stuff, but I don't know. To be honest, I had a hard time reading The Dispossessed as well. It's just, I'm kind of weird like that. Like, I like reading, the bookshelf is too far away for me to grab it, but I like reading, like, Killing Hope by William Blum is a giant book, and I liked it compared to The Dispossessed, which I also like, but it's just not kind of the thing that I typically read. Yeah. St. Andrew is good, awesome. Thoughts on anarchist solidarity with MLs? I used to be a lot more. So when I first went into college, oh no, a super chat. Thank you for the super chat, and I appreciate it and love it. But then that jumped everything down to the bottom. I'm gonna lose my spot. Oh no, not that many. Okay, cool. Okay. Thoughts on collaboration. So when I was first in college and I was listening to a lot of Michael Parenti and William Blum and Chomsky and Ward Churchill and all those folks, Naomi Klein, I was listening to all this stuff, and I was very anarchist, third worldist, and anarcho-primitivist, society is doomed, everyone sucks, everything sucks, we're doomed. People talk about inventing solar panels, but that involves precious metals that use child labor and sweatshops. Nothing we ever try will ever succeed. And I was pretty insufferable. And now I'm just kind of a more of whatever works. I just want it to work. So if it works, if anarchists and MLs collaborate, if it works, let's do it. I know that's kind of a lame, maybe unsatisfactory answer, but that's just how I feel. Folks will say oh, anarcho-communism where you want revolution, or anarcho-syndicalism where we build stuff up through unions. And I kind of keep the ANCOM title because that's what I kind of feel like I identify with most, but I just want to do what works. If all these gig economy jobs start pushing people to demand, more rights or whatever, and they start forming unions and we get a better society that way, let's do it. If the gig economy stuff starts really forcing people to work away all their free time and they get miserable and an economic collapse with COVID happens and people rise up, that's awesome too. Whatever happens, I want it to work. Okay. Where was I? Have you looked into Cooperation Jackson? Our local org is trying to start up something similar. That's cool. What do you think of Debt by David Graeber? It's long. I own it. I plan on reviewing something by David Graeber soon. By soon, I mean after I finish that pile of books I showed earlier in the stream. I own Debt. I have not read it yet. I own 2 other books of his. What else do I own? Bullshit Jobs. Do I own that? I know I own the anarchist anthropology one, which might be the one I review, even though it's like a fraction the length of his other books. Okay. Do you believe in space colonization as a viable future for humanity? I kind of don't. I kind of believe in, what do they call that? Like the Great Barrier or something, which is like if interstellar travel was possible, we would already know about it because living entities on other planets would have traveled to us by now, because all of the planets that can't sustain life are cooling and forming life forms. So we would see evidence of interstellar travel having happened on other. We would find remnants of it, I think. I don't know. Maybe the universe is way too big and that evidence is out there. We just haven't found it yet. I'm not entirely sure, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I kind of believe in the Great Barrier or Great whatever it's called. Maybe people are commenting it right now below, but yeah. I don't know if interstellar travel is possible. Maybe planets are way too far apart and not enough resources on them to make that a viable option, unfortunately. Because, I don't know, Star Trek could be cool. Automation could drive you out of a job versus automation could drive you out of a job. Yeah, happy face. Exactly. Are there any books you want to review, but the script or video never seems to come together? Yeah, this has happened a couple times. I started reading Ego in its own, but it was reminding me a lot of reading Society of the Spectacle, and that stuff's like a little too, like, come on, you can explain the ideas, I think, easier than that, is kind of my stance. Like, it really is strainful to read them. That's probably the stuff that I should be reviewing because it's like the hardest, most inaccessible stuff, so I should be like reading that and reviewing it. It just strains me a lot. So a lot of times those types of books either take forever to read, Society of the Spectacle took a long time to read, or like Ego in its own, I read maybe a third of it and I put it down. And I don't know, I might pick it up, I might not. We'll see. I also wrote a script for Birth of a Nation, which took me forever to watch because I had to pause every time, because it's a silent film, I had to pause every time they put words on the screen to get my ideas down and to read them. And the video itself is like 3 hours long and also racist and bad. So, yeah. That's that. I'm sorry I'm not reading your folks' name. Again, I do love you, but I'm not very good at reading while on camera. And names aren't words, so they're particularly difficult to read, if you didn't know. Where am I? Can I get on camera? There I am. Thank you, camera human. Okay, have you watched Inside by Bo Burnham? I think it presents some pretty radical ideas. Yes, I did and liked it, and it's cool. I also feel like, as a creator, it resonates a lot with me. I'm wondering to what extent it resonates. The life of Bo Burnham is perhaps more relevant to people like ContraPoints or PhilosophyTube, who maybe spent the whole pandemic inside and pay their bills with their content creation, whereas someone like myself who works as a dishwasher to pay the bills and then creates content as much as I can, it resonates like a little less, but it was cool and awesome. I was just going to ask if you would like to read the political thought of Abdul Auckland. He was inspired by Bookchin. That sounds cool. I should add that to my list of books. Folks who recommend books, I know this is going to like flood the comments, but throw them in the comments so I don't forget, because I don't really want to look over the whole stream chat to try and find them. So please throw them in the comments below, and I will try to add them to my Amazon wish list. Okay. How do you think climate change will affect the future of capitalism? I agree with both Capitalist Realism and by Mark Fisher, and First as Tragedy, Then as Farce by Slavoj Žižek, which is that climate change, automation, there's like these things that are giant rifts in our world that capitalism just ignores. And so we will definitely be feeling the effects of that. I think that, speaking of Interstellar, I think that the future of our planet will look like the movie Interstellar. Not with the interstellar travel, of course, because I already talked about how I think that might not be in the cards for us, but more along the lines of how there are no tropical fruits and people are eating mostly corn and there is dust storms all the time. Unfortunately, I think that that is what chunks of the world are going to look like in the future. Unfortunately, but let's fight to not make it that way. There's a Native American, I believe it's Native American. I don't want to botch this, but a proverb that I kind of like, which says that animals don't really go extinct. They go away, and they will come back when we treat the land better. And I kind of can't. I'm generally a positive person. I can't positive dog. I can't not agree with that. I see a lot to believe and be inspired by that sentiment. I was homeschooled by religious fundamentalists in the rural South, so I do not have a great opinion on homeschooling. I think homeschooling tends to be, like a religious extremism and stuff. My partner was raised a Jehovah's Witness, and when one of their parents left the church, it became a big problem because the other parent didn't want my partner to hang out with anyone who wasn't Jehovah's Witness, but no one who was Jehovah's Witness wanted to hang out with my partner because their other parent was no longer Jehovah's. It's a yeah, I'm trying to like not say names and stuff here to not dox myself, but you get the idea. Extreme religious views can be bad. Thanks for the super chat, ALQK. I do not read the numbers of super chats, the amount given, because capitalism isn't a meritocracy, and I have no way of knowing if the amount you donated was like strenuous or no big deal. So that's why I don't read the number. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I feel like that's the right thing to do. I'm trying to do the right thing. Thank you, Wicked Energy, for the donation. I really enjoy your Atlas Shrugged book review. Thank you. That was really hard to make, but I'm glad that you never know what videos blow up. I always assume certain videos are going to blow up. I did a review of big business and fascism, like at the height, like right after the Charleston Unite the Right thing. I thought that was going to blow up for sure, and it didn't. So, sometimes that happens. I'm glad that one blew up because I put a lot of work into it. I thought the End of Policing one was going to blow up. Folks who are watching, if you have not seen my End of Policing review, I did a collaboration with Second Thought. That guy's like a huge channel. I really thought that I pulled out all the stops on that one, and I was kind of bummed when it didn't blow up. The algorithm is a tricky beast. So it goes. Okay. Agree if you can work together with people with different ideologies towards similar goals, then it's good. Yes. Pragmatism isn't the worst thing in the world. True. Awesome YouTuber, awesome review of Ayn Rand. Thank you. Where are the limits from each according to their ability? Do you think somebody shouldn't have to work if they flat out don't want to? So I disagree with some other lefty folks on this, and it might just be because I have busted my stinking pup buns at minimum wage jobs for like the last 20 years. I agree with what Michael Albert said about it. I think it's in the anarchism economics lecture that I uploaded to my channel, actually. He said basically, if we create this better society where people have more say over their workplace, they are, remunerated adequately for, the task at hand. The tasks that they are given are designed, or not designed, but like a little more specifically chosen by them out of the tasks that need to be completed for the work to be done. If all that is like the type of economy that we exist in, and people still don't want to work, I guess just fuck off. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. To try and be like as equitable as possible to meet everyone. Like, obviously, there's going to be people with various types of disabilities who can't do like a whole array of tasks. Maybe so much so that they are out of the workforce altogether. We would obviously take care of folks in that condition. But aside from that, if we create this much better economy, and you still don't want to do it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, where was I? Fragments of an Anarchist Anthropology. Yes, that's the name of it. I look forward to reading it, and I will probably read it before I read Debt or Bullshit Jobs, because those are long, and my time on my moral coil is fragile and all that. Happy Friday! Oh, thanks. Donate from Thomas Schneider. Keep it up. Thank you. Also, his name is pronounced Ojlan. I bad. See, bad at pronouncing names. Good people. Like to read. Dick Larson with the $2. Thank you, thank you. I think that I will do Q&A for the next 4 minutes here, I think. And then we will move on with our lives. You probably already read America Fell Well Tour by Chris Hedges. I have not, actually, but I do. I've read a few of Chris Hedges' works. What have I read? I read Days of Glory, Nights of Love, or something like that. I always get that one confused with the Crime Think book with a similar name. The one that was about the disaster zones of capitalism in the U.S., like certain Native American reservations that are like basically third world countries, the Rust Belt and stuff like that. That Chris Hedges book was good. Death of the Liberal Class was good, and War is a Force That Gives Us Meaning was good, but I have not read the Farewell Tour. Ecology of Freedom by Bookchin, cool. Pixar Didn't Happen. I don't know what that's referring to because I'm so far away from the chat, from where chat is currently. Any collaborations with YouTubers planned? Yes, almost like basically all my videos I try and make collaborations. If I ever end up doing them on my own, it's usually because something fell through. But I usually tell those folks that let's collab in the future. No big deal. So yeah. You really feel for your partner. I'm sure that they would appreciate hearing that. The end of policing should have been a big video. Yeah, I think so. I worked so hard on that. It's disappointing when, but so it goes. Okay, I'm a little bitter. I'm a little bitter. It's fine. We'll be okay. What do you think of the internet as an education misinformation platform? It can be an intro into leftism, but also the alt-right. This is a conversation that I have with people all the time. I think to myself, now, of course, Stefan Moldy-Zoo is no longer on the platform, but I have often thought to myself, okay, we have mainstream media with like Fox, but then also like, I don't know, Democracy Now! Is not really mainstream, but you get the idea, like Fox and Democracy Now! Okay, a nice breadth of ideas available. Or we have YouTube, where we have ContraPoints and myself and stuff like that. But then there's also like Crowder and Stefan Molyneux and stuff. So is it worth it? Is it worth it to have this? I remember when I was early into college and we were talking about Wikipedia as this like awesome source a lot of the times. However, with the internet in general, it's like someone who's right and someone who's wrong can find plenty of information to back up their opinions. So it's a mess. Yeah, got to be careful out there. Isolate the lazy, I mean ignore them. There must be a price for leeching off the labor of others. Like I do kind of think that. Like I think, of course, there would be probably in the dream system there would be some sort of span of welfare time that you could always fall back on if you needed to like clear your head and stuff, but that there would also be various systems in place to get people to jobs that they're satisfied with. I mean, a lot of the people that I know who've gone long spans without working, it wasn't for lack of... There was other things going on, whether it's unaddressed mental health problems or addiction problems. And in a society where those things could be addressed more readily, we can get people ready to live more, fulfilled lives as it goes. What's your favorite color? I like green, but I do think that red and black go together quite well, but I like green. Have you thought about making an OnlyFans? So I figured like I didn't really need to because I am naked. Aside from the scarf, I'm naked right now, and I'm naked in most of my videos, so I haven't really felt the need to do so. I feel like it's kind of how I'm already making my money. Days of Destruction, Days of Revolt is the name of that Chris Hedges book.
And maybe I should review that one of these days because that is a good one. Oops. Oh, it's 7. That's 7. Okay, everyone stop questions. I'm going to try and get to the ones that are there. You better not add some, folks. Better not add some. I'm going to try to get to them. How difficult is it to stay in one place when recording a video? Not too bad because I usually play a huge game of fetch beforehand. What's your favorite book? Oh, that's a tough one. I like Paracon a lot. I know that it has its problems, but I do feel like Paracon is a very good and accessible critique of capitalism. The instruction is, well, yes. So, Radical Reviewer, you're saying that those who can work, who don't, should not be able to eat at all. I think that there should be a. It's tough to say because like we throw so much food away, and like maybe there can be. So, you know, like when you're in school and if you forgot your lunch or something, like you left it at home, you could get like that free and reduced lunch. Like basically that. Like we should have a free and reduced lunch kind of situation. Maybe that would be my dream. I feel like the barrier to people who don't want to work is like it. Like I agree with Emma Goldman and Alexander Berkman and Peter Kropotkin, all these folks who say like really when it comes to people who slack off at work or don't want to work or go long span, that has a lot more to do with capitalism and alienation than it has to do with people's own desires. I was in a car accident where I broke my leg and I was unable to work for a while, and I was miserable. I was very unfulfilled. I had bad anxiety issues during that time. So yeah, thank you for your videos. I appreciate it. Thank you. Laziness is capital, yep. Capitalism, yep. Laziness must be sure overused, yep. We're already in the percentage that doesn't work. It's called the billionaire class. True. I like that meme that's like, oh, you're thinking of, there's a class of people that live off of those who work. You're not thinking of socialism. You're thinking of capitalism. That meme's a good one. What are your thoughts on veganism? Is it ethical to kill cows to feed dogs? I think that it is ethical for species to exist on the planet and take nutrients, as needed. I think that factory farming and like the big industrial stuff that causes like massive harm is probably pretty unethical, even if it like requires dog food and stuff. Don't point out your nudity. It's true. Sorry. I wouldn't deprive lazy people of life resources. It would just depend on how big of a problem it was. I think like under a better system, we just wouldn't even see that as much. I don't believe that they're lazy. Yeah, so true. Okay, last one. There are always lazy people. Okay, so we're big on the laziness thing. Last thoughts on the laziness thing. I think that people do really, really like to work. I think that a lot of the people I know who don't like their jobs is because they would like to do other things more, and they're incapable, or because of like the way we do hiring and stuff, are often seen as not the best candidates for those positions. And I would like to see a lot of that stuff change. That's why I like the participatory economic plan of doing balanced job complexes, where people take on a variety of tasks at the workplace, so that people are doing a variety of things to mix up their day, so that when they go to various work meetings as needed, they know what a lot of different tasks at the workplace are about, and so that people aren't doing repetitive tasks, cashiers wearing wrist braces and stuff because they're doing repetitive motion. So it's just there's so much to be gained from doing that. If you could live without harming others, then why wouldn't you? Yeah, cool. Okay, we're good. That's it. That's questions. That's questions time. Where was I? Let's look at, oops, wrong button. Let's look at our list of thingies to do. So, question and answer time, knocked it out of the park. So many wonderful questions, so many okay answers. Do I feel like playing some songs? Could I get, we got 55 people watching. Could I get fox emojis? I'm gonna go outside real quick and use the restroom. I'm gonna go outside, find myself a nice patch of grass. I will return shortly. Please
throw some fox emojis in the chat if you would like to hear me play some songs, and I will return shortly. Alrighty, hello. Boy, that sure, oops, wrong one again. Boy, that sure is a lot of fox emojis. Let me get myself in frame here. What is going on? Maybe if I'm over here? There I am. Here I am? How to make this happen? Maybe if I do that. Okay, I'm in frame. I'm in frame. Okay. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. What are some songs that I know to serenade my wonderful viewers celebrating 35K subscribers? Let's make it happen. Do y'all know the song Sam Stone? Y'all know that one? I just got back from band practice, like I told you folks, maybe you saw on Twitter, so my voice might be a little shot, but we can try it anyway. You folks know Sam Stone by John Prine? It's a good one. All right, let's make it happen. Sam Stone came home to his wife and family after serving in conflict overseas. And the time that he served had shattered all his nerves, left a little shrapnel in his knee. But the more he needs to pay, and the crash around his brain, gave him all the confidence he had. With a purple heart and monkey on his back, well, there's a hole that he's on where the money goes. Jesus Christ, died for nothing, I suppose. The pictures that we did, don't stop, count the days. Sweet songs that last long, broken radio. Oh, is it too? Oh my God! Oh, the singing is peaking. I should probably turn the mic volume down. No. My singing is so much louder than my talking. Who'd have thunk it? Okay. Sorry, where was I? I'm not gonna. Should I start it over? No, I'm not gonna start it over. Where was I? There's a hole in that is all the money goes.
Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pictures have the years, don't stop, count the years. Sweet songs that last long, rock radio. Sam Stone's welcome home didn't last too long. He went to work when he'd spent his last dime. And Sammy took to stealing and he got that empty feeling for $100 habit without overtime. He took all the way through his thing. He's like 1,000 railroad trains. And eased his mind in the hours that he chose. While the kids run around wearing other people's clothes. Well, there's a hole in daddy's arm where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pictures hard to give. Don't stop, count the years. Sweet songs never last too long. Open radio. Sam Stone was alone when he popped his last balloon. Climbing walls while sitting in a chair. He played his last request and the room smelled just like that. An overdose hovering in the air. Their life and lost his fun. There's nothing to be done. They trade his house they bought on the GI Bill for a flag dead casket on the local heroes hill. Well, there's a hole in daddy's arm where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pictures have the years, don't stop, count the years. Sweet songs that last long, broken radio. All right. I had a careful list of songs that I could play that won't dox me, but that I also know how to play. It's careful blend. What else do I know? Oh yeah. Any Utah Phillips fans know the song All Used Up? Because I do, only because Eric Peterson of Mischief Brew did a cover of it, and now I know it. So let's do All Used Up. I spent my whole life making somebody rich, busting my ass for that son of a bitch. Then he left me to die like a dog in a ditch. He told me I'm all used up. My kids are in hock, do a god you call work, slaving their lives out for some of their jerk. My youngest in Frisco just made chicken pork. They don't know I'm all used up. Well, they use up the labor, they use up the trees, use up the air, and they use up the seas. But how about you, friend? How about me? What's left when we're all used up? Outside my window, the world passes by. Gives me a hand out and spits in my eye. And no one can tell me, cause no one knows why. I'm living, but I'm all used up. I finished my life in this crummy hotel. It's lousy with bugs, and my God, what a smell. But my plumbing still works, and I'm clear as a bell. Don't tell me I'm all used up. Well, they used up my labor, they used up my time. Squandered my body, squandered my mind, and gave me a pension, a hand up some wine, and told me I'm all used up. So many times in my dreams, I sit by a tree. My life is a book of how things used to be. And kids got around and they listen to me. And I don't think I'm all used up. And there's songs and there's laughter and things I can do. And all that I've learned I can get back from you. Well, I gave my last breath just to make it come true. No, I'm not all used up. That one is pretty relevant to all our laziness talk we were having. Bringing it back, bringing it around. What else do I know? I could try and do this one, but it's pretty tricky. Ooh, I could do Banks Are Made of Marble. Oh, but I'll do this one next. All right. So this song was done by Eric Peterson of Mischief Brew and Stiz Crack from Leftover Crack did this song. So look that up if you want to, because it's cool. This song's called "One in a Thousand Fleas." I'm a mouse, you're the housewife. I buy some meat, suck the blood, suck it dry, put lice in the police. Gotta starve the fat cat. Every dog is a flea. I'm like a worm at the root, singing sweet victory, bag of sand, mud and stone, fruit and seed. As above, so below, vultures under your rug, roaches fly in the night. There's a leech in your back, and it's saving your life. I sing a scavenger's anthem as I lick your plate clean. From the seed, I'm the reason I heal. Clean as a baby, just 1 in 2,000 feet. It's the biggest mosquito that the world's ever seen. The raccoons in your cans are all eating like kings. Who needs to use cash when there's plenty of trash? I could dive in your flesh to just feed from your ass. Rag me rag, muffin riff raff ram, swept away in golden straw. Foreign farmers are slashing and plowing and sweating. Sure, every plate's piled tall. Come, little boy, with your slingshot. Slingshot going to send a great fire swallow. Swallow the cold, so they do it to you as I did it. It was a sheep and sing a song of resistance so that I died. Stop the racing. Cause I fall asleep, that's when all the way through the rest of the day alive. One way, I put my ear to the street. You're never singing the song as I walk away with that I was singing along. Sing a scavenger's anthem as I lick your plate clean. Down the sea, out of reading the feed on the trees. I'm just 1 in 10,000 fleas. Oop. Camera human keeps getting into frame annoyingly as they run back up for me. You see, that's what's going on. What else did I have? I wrote down a list of some songs that I know. Banks are made of marble and solidarity forever. That's what I'm going to finish on. All right, 2 more. Will you indulge me in 2 more? I'm being incredibly self-indulgent. In fact, I'm going to be so self-indulgent. Throw some foxes in the chat if I should do 2 more songs, which I already plan on doing. All right, all those foxes count as 10 people, 10 viewers. Sorry, I don't mean to be speciesist. What were the ones I was going to do? Banks are made of marble. I've traveled around this country from shore to shining shore. It really made me wonder the things I heard and saw. I saw a weary miner scrubbing coal dust from his back. I heard his children crying, got no coal to heat the shack. But the banks are made of marble, with a guard at every door. And the vaults are stuffed with silver that the miner has worked for. I saw the fishermen standing as I lay by the shore. I heard his bosses saying, ain't got no work for you no more. But the banks are made of marble, with a guard at every door. And the vaults are stuffed with silver that the fishermen have sweated for. I saw the weary farmer plow inside his rows. I heard the auction hammer just a knocking down their door. But the banks are made of marble with a guard at every door. And the books are stuffed with silver that the farmer is swimming for. I see my people working throughout this mighty land, and I swear we'll get together and together make a stand. And we might own those banks of marble with no guard at any door. And we will share those vaults of silver that we have sweated for. That we have sweated for. I said volts of silver instead of bolts of silver, but you get the idea. All right, last one. Last one. Last one. Do I want to do that one? Do I want to do the one I said last? I suppose I could. Well, the workers' inspiration through unions that shall come. There should be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. But one force on earth is weaker. Little people say the one for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. They have bring the power. Oh, shit. No. That one's good enough. I'm going to start it over. Sorry. They bring to bear a power. We will bring to bear power. Sorry, getting a little celebratory beverage on the thing here. Apologize. Need a recording mic. So this mic is actually really nice. It's just I think that my settings for OBS are terrible, and I don't know how to fix them because it's not what I'm good at. So the union's inspiration for the working class shown on. There could be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. One force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one. For the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Well, they have taken untold millions, but they've never toiled to work. Without our brains and muscles, not a single wheel would turn. We could break their hoarded power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. We can bring the power stronger than the hordes of gold, mightier than their armies, 95,000 fold. We can bring to bear a new world from the ashes of the old. The union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got. All right, where are we at on our checklist of thingies to do? Whoops. I keep doing that before I'm ready. All right, back to talking vocals. Let's get our talking vocals volume going on before I do anything else. Okay, where are we at on our checklist of thingies to do? Okay. So, we saw what channels inspired me to start my channel. Embarrassing stuff. We saw what content I made initially. Also embarrassing. We looked at what I'm reading now. We did Q&A. We played some songs. And lastly, future of the channel. There's not really much to say about that. I'm going to continue. Whoops. I'm going to continue doing what I have been doing for the last 6 years. I hope to keep my quality at what it has been at for the last year or two. I got a review of Anarchy Works that will be out probably soon. The script is about to be done. The channel I'm collaborating with has finished their end of the bargain. So that should be coming out hopefully in 2 weeks. Hopefully in 2 weeks, a review of Anarchy Works will come out. This is an encyclopedic, basically, account of anarchy working in different kinds of ways all over the world. Good stuff. And I have a review of Wage, Labor, Capital, and Value, Price, and Profit in the works. Those are the next two to come out. Anarchy Works and Value, Price, and Profit. Oop. Whoa, what's that? Camera human getting in the thing. Unacceptable. Not cool. Not allowed. Way to try and dox me, camera human, by putting a slight bit of camera human hand in the frame. I hate it. I hate it. Okay, we're still going, but just for a little bit longer. I decided to stream this on YouTube because even though I've streamed on Twitch here and there, this is about celebrating the channel on YouTube, so that's why I got it streaming here on the YouTube. So these are the two books that will be reviewed next. Look forward to those. Yeah, happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for indulging me in this very self-celebratory action. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna finish on the half-hour mark. I'm gonna finish on the on the dot. So throw some questions my way. Let's do some last questions for the last little bit of minutes we have before the time, and then we will say goodbye. Now what do we got here? I'm surprised it's only 35K. I also think so, and I also don't think so. I tend to be pretty, like most YouTubers, I tend to think like, man, I should be bigger and stuff. But then I'll also look at some people who are doing like really, really incredible work and think like, man, why is my channel bigger than theirs? The algorithm makes no sense. So it goes. Cool. Okay. Any questions? Any questions before we depart? I look very handsome in the bandana. Yeah, I've done the bandana for some videos. I think I did I do a bandana in my review of Critique of the Gotha program? I think I might have. Okay. 35K. Woohoo! These books are coming next. Look forward to those. Woohoo! Do you watch a lot of YouTube now? I watch way too much YouTube. Especially like with my job washing dishes, I have Bluetooth headphones and I just listen to YouTube the whole time I'm at work. It's probably not the greatest use of my time, but I learn a lot. I like to think, or maybe not. Happy Friday, everyone. I love you. How many books do you read? I'm not that fast of a reader, actually. I read probably maybe a book a month. But probably not even that most of the time. A lot of times when I'm reviewing a book, the reason that I can do a couple book reviews is I'm either reviewing something I've already read, reviewing something I've just read, or I do things like I did the, what's an example? I did the answering Destiny's questions about socialism video. I'll do stuff like that to kind of pad out Or, to be honest, because my Anarchy Works script isn't done yet, this celebratory review is also this celebratory Q&A video is also kind of a little bit of a video to pad out so I can buy myself 2 more weeks to finish the Anarchy Works video. That's how that works. Do I watch Breaking Points? Is that the one where they mess with people until they go start acting out? I've seen it. If that's that one. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Love you. Bye. I'm gonna leave now. I gotta figure out how to do that. Camera human. Buttons. Camera human. Camera human. Where are you? No. Not my close up. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready. Camera human. What are you doing? What is this? The Blair Witch Project? This is craziness. Why? Why would you do this to me? Goodbye, love you. Goodbye. Love you, viewers. Hope you keep watching and enjoying what I got. New stuff coming through the doggy door in just a couple weeks. All right. Bye.